What's good, family? I hope y'all all are doing good on this lovely day and feeling great. Welcome to the Truth Report. Today, I want to speak about the Carmelo Anthony trial and the connection. Once again, that just started. Well, it just ended recently, the trial, but it started about half a week ago on June 4th. Now, if you could remember, this story, the crime actually happened last year on April 2nd. And I had to type some of this stuff down, but it happened on April 2nd, 2025. And let's just go over it. A young black male whose name just so happened to be Carmelo Anthony stabbed a young white male to death named Austin Metcalf. Now, when I first heard about it, I was just like, okay, this is another propaganda issue or another stage ritual, and it is a ritual, but I couldn't see the story when I heard it. I couldn't see through the script. But looking back at it now, it all makes sense, of course. On that same day, right, on April 2nd, which is the fourth month, the second day, number 42, the NBA player Carmelo Anthony was nominated / elected to the NBA Hall of Fame. So when Carmelo with the K committed a crime, a stabbing against Austin Metcalf earlier that day on April 2nd. And then you have Carmelo Anthony, just out the blue, the basketball player, being nominated and elected to the Hall of Fame on the same day, later on that evening. And 6 days, and that's how you know it's a Masonic thing going on, because 6 days before the trial started, Carmelo Anthony, the basketball player, turned 42 years old. So we got the 4-2 again. Now, of course, the numbers don't lie, because these are master manipulators. And they've been playing with the minds, like playing these games with the minds of the people for a very, very long time through trickery, using gematria, which is an ancient Kabbalistic practice of assigning a number to every letter, essentially encoding numerical values within words, letters, or phrases. This code is used religiously by the mainstream media as well to deceive the masses on a regular, everyday basis. This ain't nothing but ritualism at its best. But once you learn gematria, you can see through all the manipulation. You can see right through the script, and you already know what it is. It won't trigger you. But notice how Carmelo with the K, that's spelled with a K, equals 30 and 42. Just like Jackie equals 42, like Jackie Robinson, who wore the number 42, the baseball player. Martin equals 42, like the sitcom Martin, who his apartment number was number 42. And these are other names that equal the numbers 30, 42, 59, and 76. These numbers are always associated with so-called black people. As you can see, Michael Jordan equals 59 and 76. And we know his whole career is scripted, along with Kobe and LeBron and everyone else, primarily in sports and entertainment. All their careers are scripted. Nothing is organic. Now, Michael Jordan, former teammate Stacey King, equals 42. And he just died last week at the age of, 59. George Foreman, I did a video on him some while back. He died at the age of 76, family. So these ain't like no coincidences at all. Rappers like Royce the 5'9" and 42 Doug, or Big 30. These are all scripted names. The world, is definitely a stage full of actors and puppets. And a lot of times, these actors and puppets don't pass away when they tell you they did. And it's more like they just exit the world stage. But on the other side of the coin, many of them do pass away physically because they're under the control and in contract with Satan. So to be honest, for me being on this truth journey, I've come to the conclusion that the more I learn, the more I realize that I don't know much. I don't really know what these people actually do in these demonic circles or demonic religions. I just know that I'm not no idiot. But I've done a lot of research over the last 5 to maybe 7 years. I've been alive a long time, not older than my elders, but I've been alive for a certain amount of time. And experience is the best teacher. The things you go through, the things you constantly see in patterns and things of that nature. And ultimately, my discernment and intuition is on 100 at all times. This Carmelo Anthony connection was a race-related psyop. Just like the Chud the Builder CIA agent situation, that was a psyop. Just like the Asian male unaliving the young male not too long ago, the child situation. These are race-related psyops, and they're all happening around the same time to attempt to try to trigger the mind, trigger the spirit, trigger the soul, and get the people engaged in violence amongst each other. Lastly, I just want to say the victim's dad, Jeff Metcalf, equals 42 in reduction, along with football star, equaling 42 as well, along with twin, equaling 42 in stab, because he died of a stabbing, equaling 30 and 42. And of course, he had a twin brother. I wanted to make sure I say that. So at the end of the day has to end. And you don't want to allow this mockery to trigger you into having negative thoughts. You have to stay on a high frequency at all times, because all 9 areas of activity has been infiltrated by the dragon. These type of rituals are done to change laws as well. Think about it. The Asians got a protection bill passed basically for no reason, like a few years ago, respectfully. Everyone in this country, corporation, is protected legally, except for the original people, the original American people of this land. They want us to stay black within law so they can continue to utilize sorcery and witchcraft against us. So they can keep control of us through being classified as dead and incompetent, non-compos mentis. So my advice is, if you, as a sound-minded, good person, right, your life just so happened to be in danger, and someone is really, truly attempting to put their hands on you or worse, it don't matter what color you are, you have a God-given right to protect yourself. So you have to protect yourself. But there's also levels to protecting yourself. Like certain things is not cause for certain things, you know what I mean? But I'm not the one to tell anyone how to protect themselves. I'm just saying, don't become so susceptible into being triggered into these rituals, especially with violence or breaking laws. Because they will love for you to break a law so you can go to their prison, or so you can remove yourself from society permanently, So just don't get triggered into these rituals, but learn from them. The Truth Report has adjourned.